116th Hotline. It's Sadie.
And Sultana. And welcome back to 116th Hotline. If this is your first time here, hello. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. 116th Hotline is a podcast where we talk about anything and everything in our noggins, okay? Whatever is on our noggins, we're going to talk about it.
It's just going to come
out. It's a safe space not only for us, the hosts, Sultana and Sadie, but also for you, the listener / viewer, wherever you are listening or watching this from. Yeah, anyways. Anyways, okay, so it is March, it is spring, which means our spring fling is happening soon, and we have a couple dates in mind in April, so make sure you stay tuned on all of our socials for that.
Yes.
But if you didn't know, we run a couple of fun events.
We've had, like, for example,
we haven't done one in a year, but
right.
It's always intentional, it's always beautiful, it's always,
I view it as like a quality over quantity type of thing,
almost like when you have a sleepover with friends and you're like,
oh my
this
God,
is so fun, like a good hangout with like great girls. That's what this is.
I love it. That's a great way to explain it, literally, because it's like a lot of the things that we have done, and we can if you want to go look back at our episodes, like we've talked about it too, you may I don't remember exactly which specific episodes, but our very first one was our 1 year anniversary one.
Yes.
That was super fun, super, like you said, intentional. And then we did the Galentine's. Was it 2023? 2023,
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one was also really, really, really fun. It was so good.
No, wait, no, 2024.
No.
Galentine's,
it was? 2024? Are you sure?
Yes, because that's when I had my face thing.
Oh, it was 2024.
That's why you said a year.
Right. It was a year ago. Okay. Yeah, it was 2024. Yeah, but I mean, and like you said, we've only had 2 so far. But then, like, other than that, like, I just feel so strongly about our events because it's just so.
But they've made impact.
Yes, very much so.
Yes, and as 2 people who have avidly been to events, we know what it is to go to a good event.
No, honestly, and I'm not trying to compare or like shit on anybody, but then like I feel like I don't know our events, and I don't know if I'm being biased at this point, but you can go and ask any of our guests.
I mean, we can pull up a little video from 2024 at Galentine's. Like, people were crying, people were in their feels. It was very almost like spiritual.
We literally made a new friend just because at the event place. I am Ayala. Shout outs, girl.
Yes, shout outs to Ayala, the Tulsa's a local R&B artist. Love her so vibe. Much. Love her music. Love her soul. I just love just the energy is like when you feel the energy with people, you're on the same level.
I feel like our Galentine's was like an event full of just high, beautiful energy that just connected with each other. Because like I said, Ayala was like she was just a worker at the event place that just happened to be working there to watch over, and she was like drawn into us. We were drawn into her. The
energy.
We invited her to be a part of it, and she was so thankful. And then we are now,
we're friends.
We're good friends.
We're acquaintances.
She was actually one of our guests on our podcast too. So shout out to Ayala. We love her. But
so talking about events, Galentine's did happen this year, and me and Sadie went to one event together. I also went to a silent disco. It was really fun. So just being people that avidly go to events, I think we both have the perception. And also we have an
idea of
the vision that we want our events to be really inclusive and make people feel comfortable, truly comfortable with themselves, where they can be themselves and not be a place of judgment. Okay.
Right.
So
clock that.
With that being said, I don't think I've talked on the podcast about this, but I want to talk about our experience at the Galentine's.
Okay, let's go for it, girl.
What I went through and the after facts.
This was your experience.
This was my experience and my experience.
So you're gonna speak your experience.
I'm gonna speak my truth.
Your truth.
So Sadie and I went to a Galentine's event at a local gathering here, and it was supposed to be a very fun, inclusive
dude, why would we keep saying the same words?
Fun, inclusive space where the theme was almost like
sexy, feeling in yourself, putting yourself
sexy,
out there,
lingerie, being comfortable,
confident, and all
wear
that.
what you want, come wearing lingerie. It's a girls type of thing,
a very, very much girls,
and very inclusive and beautiful party. And no one's gonna judge you here. Let's just have fun and be girly, girly pops, right? So if you know me, I love shopping secondhand. I love thrifting. I love just supporting local businesses. And shopping secondhand and curated vintage is just a real passion of mine. Sadie knows how much I love supporting local businesses that do that. And it's just really like, I truly love supporting businesses like that.
That's literally your passion.
It is. Yeah. And I love fashion. So anyways, this event that was hosted was a Galentine's event. And I was really excited because there was a Galentine's event the weekend before that was kind of like hot girl vibes, NYC vibes, but I couldn't make it. So I'm like, Sadie, we have to go to this one. We have to go to this Galentine's event. It's going to be fun. I know the owners, like they're throwing it and they seem really cool. So we were vibing in the party. It was a good time, right?
Anything that has to do like dressing up or like a theme event or anything.
We
like,
eat it up.
We eat it up. We would love to. Like we would just like, 100% supporting. We will like show up and just
we commit to the bit.
We commit to yes.
We commit to the bit 150%.
Absolutely.
Like, we'll come out in all nines. We'll wear a hot outfit, our makeup, the vibes. We will make sure that we are on point with the theme.
We love that. We love doing that.
We love a good theme. And so throughout the night, we're just kind of roaming around. But I get a little bit overwhelmed because I'm like, the space is kind of small and there's a lot of people. I'm like, all right.
It was crowded. It was crowded,
which is good. I mean, a lot of people came out. It was a good turnout. It was a great turnout. And I was like, okay, I'm getting overwhelmed. Like, let's go outside. So we're like, okay, let's end the night. Let's go outside, take pictures.
Yes. Because
if you're dressed up and you're a girl, you have to get pictures.
You got to get your outfits. You got to get the outfit pics. You have to prove that, hey, you dressed up.
Exactly. If you didn't take a picture, it did not happen. If you're wearing an outfit and you did not get pictures, that night never happened. No, what a shame. Didn't exist. Like, come on.
The girls that get it.
Yeah, so that's what we did. We went outside, took a little flicks. And you know me, I'm like feeling myself. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling myself. The theme was on point. Let me just get a shot of my tights with these red shoes.
It was iconic.
The outfit is killing.
It was so cute. Yeah.
It was eating. Let's get some shots. So Sadie gets some shots of my outfit. Anyways, long story short, the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I would love your perspective and point of view. Long story short, what happens is one of the girls that attends the event, she sees me on the sidewalk with my legs up in the air, and that's the shot we're getting. Yes. Yeah. I'm laying on the floor with my legs up in the air, getting a shot. Mind you, I'm wearing shorts, tights, and everything. Nothing is like showing, but my legs are up in the air so we can get the tights and
the shoes
shot, and I'll put it right here on the screen.
Yes.
But as we're getting that shot, someone is walking
from the other point of view
with my legs up in the air, and they're recording. Yeah. And mind you, this is somebody that's at the party. They're recording and they're like, it starts off with, am I being mean? And then another girl that's with her comes into frame and she's literally giving a face like,
right.
Okay. So just sit with that. Sit with that for a minute and let me know what you think. Yeah, let me know what you think when you let that marinate.
If you were to see that video firsthand without any context.
No context, right? Just you see a video of the girl with her legs up in the air and the audio of the girl is saying, am I being mean? And then the other girl comes into frame and she's like, okay, and that's it. It's like a 3-second video. Mm-hmm. Let me know what you think about that. If you didn't know the context beforehand of me getting the shots or whatever, that's just what you see. Mm-hmm. Okay, mind you, one of the girls that threw the party basically messages me and she's like, hey, were you by chance on the floor taking pictures? And I'm like, this was the next day, by the way. I was like, I was. Why? I was like, that was a random question. Like, did something happen? Did I drop something? But she ends up sending me this video and she's like, oh, I think these people thought you were drunk. Mind you, I am 2 years sober. Okay. Like
sobriety.
I don't drink. Okay.
Careful.
And she's like, someone took this video. Nobody's seen it yet except me and the other girls who threw the party. And, I just wanted to make sure it was you. You were killing it or whatever. Anyways, I thought nothing of it, but then I started feeling this pit in my stomach, right? And I'm like, if I'm feeling a pit in my stomach from someone who I thought was a friend of mine that I really valued as a trusted acquaintance, a friend, and I feel weird, I need to tell them how I feel, right? So I was like, wait, I don't think it was right that you sent me that video. Because first of all, what were your intentions? What
were you looking for to get back from this? Like,
what did it do for you to send that video to me?
Right.
Is what I was thinking.
Right.
Because this person I really thought of as a friend, but I was a customer basically. Right. And I guess that was my mistake to think of this person as a friend. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that was weird that you sent it to me. I just feel like something's off with that. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't have to send, like, if I saw a video of Sadie, we were talking about this, okay? If I saw a video of Sadie and someone was recording it or saying shit about her, I would defend her.
Right.
I don't need to tell her what's being said about her.
Let alone show the actual like footage or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just going to defend her in that message or to that person. Like, first of all, why are you even comfortable talking about it to me? First of all, is my thought. Like, why are you so comfortable with it? So that's just my opinion. Like, if someone wants to be talking shit about Sadie or like sending a video or whatever, I would defend her because that's my girl. That's my friend. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like in that moment, I had to defend myself. So let me know what you guys think about this situation, okay? So basically, I just felt uncomfortable with her sending me the video. And I was just like, it was weird that you did that. I don't like how you did that. It made me feel like shit. And I think I thought of you as a friend, and I don't really appreciate that. And I basically cut off ties from that point on because I felt like it's doing nothing if I'm letting that energy around me. And although she meant good intentions, maybe, I don't know what her real intent was, but it still gave me a pit in my stomach type of feeling, you know?
Right.
And I felt like if I'm feeling that way, maybe I don't need to let that energy around me, you know?
Okay, one thing. Okay, first off, I would like to say, just putting in my 2 cents, I really like the fact that you said that. Well, you've always been that type of person ever since, like, I forgot, like maybe a few episodes ago we were talking about friendships or something too, and you said that if it's not, it was the episode when I started crying because I was emotional about something, I don't remember, and you're like, if it's not like serving you or anything, or like if the energy is kind of bad and you keep on thinking about it, just let it go, learn how to let it go, and do not let it affect you. So I do love that about you, that, you know, so that's why you decided to cut ties with this person, whether you guys were closer or not. And the second point I wanted to point out was that whenever you said that maybe it was my mistake that I thought she was a friend rather than just kind of an acquaintance type of person, you know what I'm saying? So that's accountability. That's bravery right there. And, you know, I respect you for that. Give you your flowers for that. Because, I mean, maybe this person, from her point of view, she didn't view you as close as you thought y'all were. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she was comfortable to just like so quick to, I'm just send this to her without thinking about it. Yeah. And like I said before, I don't know this person like that. I really don't. I feel like, you know, maybe like that's what it was. Like, maybe it was an honest mistake. Maybe it was no ill intentions. But at the end of the day,
it still made me feel like shit. It still made
you feel like shit. And your feelings are valid. And at the end of the day, if you are someone that has been supporting this person since day one, because I do see you post a lot of her stuff. I remember seeing you supporting, like, you're one of the number one, like, main supporters for local businesses and stuff like that. And you're so passionate about that. And essentially it brings in a lot of, you know, business for these people, right? So, like, in general, I think it was... She should have had enough respect to think about, like, okay, before I send this video, like, just careless. I feel like it was just so careless on her part. And if she did already apologize and, you know, for being careless about that, fine. But it's still like, you know, like it's still super valid for you to put your feelings out there, and good for you to cut it off, because it really made you feel, you know, shitty, and that's not cool, you know? So, like I said, I don't know this person like that, but I just really do hope she learns from this for the better. But at the end of the day, it was wrong. In my opinion, I thought that was wrong too, because like you said, even if it wasn't you, if it was somebody that, you know, maybe for like Sammy, you know, your sister Sammy, if I were to overheard somebody saying something bad about Sammy, I'm not going to go and tell Sammy, hey, Sammy, I heard these people saying these exact words about you and stuff like that. But I defended you though. That's when you do it like that, it doesn't seem like genuine, you know what I mean? Like, you're just doing to say that, hey, by the way, I want to show you that I did this and this and that for you. Like, it's so I don't know, like, forced and cringy to me whenever you do that, you know what I mean? Or let alone if I were to tell Sammy exactly what these people are saying about her, rather than just doing the right thing, being the bigger person and just defending that person, because you know you are acquainted with that person and that you would consider that person a friend, you know what I mean? So just like you said, I would just automatically right there defend Sammy in front of those people and not even having to tell Sammy about it, because that's just integrity. And
that's taking away from the genuineness. I also feel that I am such a ride or die.
Yes.
I am so ride or die. Like, if you want to start a new hobby, if you want to do something, like, and I love you and I'm like, I want to support you 110%, let's go.
You will advocate for till your wheels fall off.
I will support you 100,000%. But I think I am mistaken sometimes when I give that out too freely. I feel that I don't have boundaries with that. And I feel that I probably mistaken that other people. I expect that other people will do the same. Same
back, yeah.
But I need to realize that that's not how life works. Just because I show
so much support and empathy,
just because I show specific support to people, or just because I do things in a certain way, I shouldn't expect what I do to be returned to me exactly. Because people are not just like me. Yes. People are their own people. But I think that's where I get mistaken, is that if I'm doing something for people out of the goodness of my heart, or because I love and appreciate them, or I want to see them succeed, I need to remember that they might not be doing the same thing for me.
And that's a hard take.
That's a hard take, because I'm like, maybe it's me. Maybe I give too much. And I think from this situation, I learned that, not everybody is your friend. Not everybody has your best intentions. Yeah. And not to throw race in there, but I'm like, people that are not POC do not understand.
No, yeah.
People that are not POC do not understand how you navigate life, what you've been through in your life. And it's hard to be friends with people that don't have that empathy or don't have that experience, because they think that friendships or just little silly things like the video is not going to affect them. But it's like, it's not. The thing is, it's not just a video.
Right. I think it's the principle.
And someone was like, well, people are going to talk shit. Yeah, I get that. I've been through that. But it's like, why did you, as someone as I thought was a friend of mine, send it to me? And that's where I went wrong. Right. Because I thought that they were a friend. But
yes.
They, obviously, I wasn't.
It rubbed you the wrong way. It's like, because my first thought was, okay, yeah, that's kind of weird too. The fact that, okay, yes, she could say that, hey, were you on the ground yesterday? Oh yeah, by the way, I think some people saw you on the ground, but just like shaking it off, whatever, telling you about it. But even in my mind, I feel like, what's the point of telling you about it? But then sending you the actual video too is kind of like, I don't know. For me, I would have taken it the wrong way too. Like, why would you show me this video of these girls making faces at me?
The thing that irks me about the video in itself is, it's a negative connotation. That when you open the video, she's saying, am I being mean? And then someone comes into frame, and I could splatter her video all over and show you guys who these people are.
Right.
But what would that do for me? Yes. I would be on the same level as them, and I'm not like that. The thing is, I'm working that out within myself. I know who this person is. Yes. I know how this person looks like. And that made me feel like shit. That you would let me feel like shit because you seen a video that made you feel some type of way.
If it made her feel uncomfortable, why would you show the actual person that's in the video? You know what I'm saying?
That got me. I'm
that
like,
part.
I could have just put it on Facebook or something and let the TikTok and
do their own thing. But at the same time, like you said, if the moment, what is it gonna good is it gonna do you?
Exactly.
Like 5,000 validation for other people to support you in this. What? No. At the end of the day,
I'm not looking for people to put people down, and that's the difference between.
Ooh, that's
the difference. And it's like, I wanted to speak on this because it's something that I literally went through, and I wanted to share that. At first, I wanted to be okay with it, with me seeing the video and with her explanation. I wanted to make sense of it and be like, okay, maybe it's okay.
What was the reason?
But then I shared it with you. I shared what happened with you. I shared it with Val. I shared it with Tara. And I said, am I weird for feeling this way? No.
Nope.
And I think a good friend is when they can validate you and say that, hey, someone is being shitty to you and you need to do something about it.
Let alone if you keep questioning it,
something is wrong.
Something's wrong. It's not sitting right with you. Then it needs to be addressed.
A true friend will tell you when someone's being shitty to you. A true friend will be like, hey, that's really not a friend. A real friend would not do that.
Right.
And I think that's what I wanted to bring up, is that true friends are friends that will be like, hey, this person isn't treating you right and you should stand up for yourself.
Right.
And, that's kind of what you guys did for me. Basically gave me a redirection to reclaim my identity, who I am. And in that moment, I felt like I'm not gonna lose everything I've worked for or all the confidence I built for myself just because someone has an insecurity of me being myself out there doing, and I do that all the time with my outfits, right? I dress crazy, I dress weird, I talk loud, I'm myself. And if that makes you feel insecure, that has nothing to do with me.
That's out of your control, babes. That's nobody can tell you what to do with yourself and your personality and your identity. And then now, okay, Speaking of context now we have context behind this whole video and this whole situation.
Yes.
Like Sultana said, it was supposed to be a girls type of situation, like a all
it was
celebrating like Valentine's.
Come as yourself. All bodies are welcome.
Right.
It's a beautiful event. It's a Galentine's event. All girly girls here. We love each other. No one will be judged.
And I also want to say that whenever we were in the event, like it was very much that a lot of that energy, like, oh my gosh, girls, like random
you were
strangers.
so cute. Love your outfit.
Love your outfits. It was very much like girls type. So I felt at the moment, I felt like, you know, we were like just thriving in our, you know, comfort zone. Like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Girls of all shapes and sizes. Everybody was just being a girl. Which is what a Galentine's should be. Galentine's, hint, gal, okay. But then, so once that situation came upon, I'm like, it was just very contradicting. I feel like, you know, like behind like the context, and even those girls that did record it, I remember them too in the actual event. We talked to them before. I feel like we passing by, we like complimenting each other, just you know. So the fact that they did that too, it was just kind of like you said, mean girl vibes, and it was just giving very, very like childish to me. And I'm like, what was the reason? You know what I mean? Like
why did you have to do that?
Why did you have to do that? And then sending it to that person sending it to you. It was just, it's all around just so weird. The word I can only describe is just weird. You know
weird
what I mean?
Girls.
Weird.
The bottom line is, don't be a weird girl.
Don't be a weird girl.
Don't be a weird girl. And if you're trying to be a girl's girl, but really you're a weird girl, you need to work on yourself and look deep within, because there's something truly wrong with yourself.
Yes.
If you can sit there and mock a woman, if you can sit there and project in your own insecurities onto other women, there's something wrong with you up here. Okay,
it kind of reminds me of that one situation, and like maybe when they saw it, they're like, okay, whatever the heck they thought it was, like recording it and making those faces and like, you know, sending it to her or whatever. It's just like, are you jealous because you can't do that? You could never, like, you know,
you could never,
sis. Like, I remember there's a stupid little quote from a while ago saying something that, oh, you're too much. But then, like, you can turn around and say, well, you're too little. Like, you could never do what I'm doing then. Yep. You know, like you said, at the end of the day, it all stems down to insecurity and maybe just like you just, or envious, you know? So. And
what made me feel even worse is that this person that I thought was a friend, the fact that they probably had a conversation beforehand before I seen the video. I think that's the part that kind of hurt me the most, because,
you know, there had to have been a conversation.
They had to have some conversation somewhere, some chat somewhere. But I digress. I'm just bringing this onto the podcast to say that mean girls will be mean girls. Weird girls will be weird girls. Don't be a mean girl. Don't be a weird girl. Okay? If you don't want to feel like a shitty person, don't be a shitty person.
Simple as that. And if you are someone that's like that, then like you said, you have a bigger fish to fry. You have to really work, like do some self-work.
How about let's focus on what we're doing instead of what other people are doing?
At the end of the day, it can be so simple, dude. So simple.
Stay out of my business. Like, literally. Mind your own business. Don't be nosy. And just do your own thing. Live your own life, okay? It's
kind of like this one thing, too. And I don't mean to be sexist or whatever at this point, but it's like men already hate us enough. Why do we have to be literally a girl? And, you know, like, men already have all the judgment and all whatever in the world about women. So why would you do it, too? You know what I mean?
Whenever, like, why are you hating? There's already so much hate against us.
We're supposed to be on the same team.
Let's work together.
Let's work together. But... you know, at the end of the day, people will do what they do. And like you said, if they have a lot of like growth that they need to work on, then, you know, that's something that's on their own level. But just don't do that. Like, don't send, if you see something wrong being done, don't do something that will make it even more wrong, or it could be portrayed as more wrong. You know, just defend, do the right thing. Integrity, y'all. We talked about this like before.
So I talked to Danny about it, and he's
you did?
Yeah. And he was like, well, you know, maybe she didn't mean to do that. Maybe she was being a friend and doing this and that. And, you know, maybe that's my wrong, where I'm seeing like, where I'm feeling like I'm just cutting her off and that's good. But I feel like I'm too old for this.
We're 30 years old.
I think I deserve it to myself to draw boundaries. And that's my boundary, you know, and she's texted me a couple of times, like trying to apologize. And it's just like, at this point, I'm not going to validate your apology just to make you feel better about yourself. Ooh. You know what I mean? If you like, maybe you should reflect and work on that within yourself and see, what did I do wrong in this situation, and how can I be better? Because I'm too old for this. I'm not gonna. That's my boundary. I'm not entertaining it, and I'm too grown. too grown to be
period
focusing on things like that. Like, I want to focus on, I've worked too much on my confidence. I worked too much on being authentically who I am to let people ridicule me and shove me in a little box just so that they can feel better about themselves. And it's so much more than just a clip. It's about who I am as a person. It's about when people talk about you, remember about all those situations that you've been through in your life where people made you feel like shit. It's just not the one video, you know?
Right. I think it's a lot that goes behind that. It's like a
lot of the past that you've been through and where you are at now, and not letting people tear you down.
It was almost kind of like, like a trigger, like a little trigger.
It was.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It was. I was like, oh no.
What the heck? Like, yeah, like you said, you literally built your self-confidence and yourself and your personality and your identity now.
Yes.
Brick by brick to this day, where to now you feel confident enough to do whatever, you know? So the fact that a little something like that can like really like, you know, like trigger it down is like, people in general are just not mindful, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, they're just not mindful anymore. Like, you need to think about these type of things. And I don't know if this girl, I mean, if she knew a lot about your background or whatnot, but at the end of the day, you were a main supporter and, like you said, you know, a friend. And it's just like I said, I just think it's weird the fact that she even sent you the video. But I mean, hey, that's my opinion.
It's definitely weird. And all this goes to show that it's okay to be yourself. Even if people are going to talk. And if you're considered weird and if you're considered not normal and if people get jealous, whatever, like, let them talk. It's literally, at the end of the day, when people talk about you or say things about you, it has nothing to do with you.
Yes, it has everything to do with them.
And I 100% with my Black Air Forces stand on that.
Period. Yes, sis, stand on business, because that's a lot. I feel like you said, nowadays, like at our age, our big old girl age, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have time to entertain that.
Talk your shit. Okay, great. Leave that up somewhere else. Exactly. Don't bring it to me.
At the end of the day, you're like talking shit to your own self. You're having a conversation with your own self.
Yes, I'm not going to entertain it. No.
No, exactly.
You want to try? Go ahead.
Keep going.
You'll be talking in the mirror. She's not going to respond.
That is such a good piece of advice for people that want to grow and be better and just move on from, like, just to be better for yourself. You know what I mean?
And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because people always ask me all the time, how do you stay confident? How are you so, like, you know, outspoken? Guys, stuff like this happens to me all the time.
Uh-huh. Right.
It's what you choose to do with it.
Yes.
Okay. How do you get confident? How do you become a baddie? How do you do what you want to do? Dress how you want to dress without people caring? You're going to run into situations where people say things like this, where people do things like this.
100%.
How are you going to use that and move on? Are you going to let it stop you? Are you going to let it change who you are entirely on what you worked on your whole life? No. You just learn how to build boundaries, cut them off, do what you need to do, get through it, get over it, get under it, whatever. Do not let it affect you. You can experience it in the moment, just like feelings.
Yes.
But learn to let it go.
Let it go. I think that's the beauty of it. Like, is that like something that you've taught me is to, don't, no, seriously. So I'm gonna give you your flowers for that. Sprinkle your little flowers. The thing is that, like, you know, as you get older, yes, I'm not saying it's easy, right? It's not easy.
It's
not easy.
It's a ever going thing
process. Yeah, like, you cannot just, like, you know, tune it out and say, oh, I'm just gonna ignore it. Okay, like, they're saying some mean shit to me and it's like right in my face and you're just gonna ignore. No, it's not easy like that. But you have to just learn to, like you said, okay, if they really said something that really hurt your feelings, you can't ignore the feelings. You have to process it. You have to feel it. And that's what you did.
Yes.
I feel like with this situation, like, you thought about it, you felt it, and then you kept having questions that kept on popping up in your head. That's why you were asking me and Val and Tara. And I'm like, yeah, this is something that's bothering you. But, like, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, if it's something that's bothering you, address it. And kudos if you go straight to the source and address it with them.
I know. I was so like,
it's one of those situations.
Scared.
I get it.
But I was like, no, you know what? I've shut up for too long of my life. I need to just straight on.
I love that so much. Like, it's just like knowing your past and everything. I love that so much. And this is something I'm also learning as I'm growing older, whether if it's in the workspace.
And, you know, I didn't even double take it. I was just like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I was just hey, I've made my decision on how I feel about this. I'm gonna tell her how I feel.
And this is how I feel.
Yep.
Period. And I feel like as adults now, or just like, you know, with now that we're growing in our era, like, if you're like, at this age, like, I don't know, in your 20s and up, take this as a learning lesson, please, because I'm learning this a lot too in my like current life and like work life or whatever, right? If there's something, somebody says something and it's like on your mind, say something, like go up to the actual source too. That's what my boss told me. Actually, my boss said that, you know, there's going to be gossips, there's going to be like disagreements, but the thing, and she's told me this, she said something about, if you're talking about it like not to that person that you heard it from,
to someone else,
then it's gossiping. But when you go to that person, then it's you trying to resolve a problem. I'm like, ooh. So ever since that day,
hey, clock that.
No, clock that. So ever
I
since
love that.
No, seriously. Ever since she said, and I think it's coming from a leadership standpoint. So I'm like, dang. I was like, that was like, it really stuck with me. It was deep, because I'm like, that's true. Because if it's something that's on the back of your head, or if you heard something, you keep talking about it, not going straight to the source, that is gossiping. But if you go straight to that person, then that's you trying to problem solve or trying to just resolve some kind of like, you know, I don't know, issues or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you addressed it straight to the source, I give you props for that, because yes, it is crazy, and I know that you know, you might feel like, oh, this is kind of like nerve-wracking.
Well, it was like the first time that I actually like processed, I think, like through the thought process, and then like, all right, I questioned how I was feeling. I asked a few of my friends. I finally came to a decision, and now we're executing how I feel.
Yes. And it takes a lot. That takes a lot, but then this is how it should be done. Yes. In order to avoid any more, to make it a more like I guess like a bad situation that it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Because like you said, if had Sultana posted that video on social media, it would have been like exploded into something that's way worse and just more like a drama filled commotion type of situation. But she didn't. She chose to do the big thing.
Yeah, and I cut the boundaries, and I, you know, sometimes I still even question myself. I think because I'm like, I don't want to have bad
blood.
I don't want to have bad endings with anybody.
Right.
But I did what I had to do for my own mental being.
Yes.
And then sometimes I question myself, maybe I should just say it's okay. But I'm like, no, if I do that, that's letting people walk all over me.
Yes.
That's opening the door and saying, hey, it's okay for you to treat me this way, and I will be okay with it. I don't want people to see me in that way anymore.
Part.
I want to stand up for myself and let people know what is the boundary for me, what I'm willing to and willing not to accept.
I love that, because I know sure as hell these people won't do it anymore.
No.
Or if they were to do it, they won't dare to do it to your face.
Or they'll be doing it with other people.
That part and whatever, but then that's at the end of the day, that's something they are struggling with on their own that they need to grow from. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because like at the end of the day, sometimes I'm like why do people, like you said, at our big old age, why do people still do that? Why do you not have anything better else to do in your life?
We're not in high school. We're not in elementary school. Like, we are grown.
Everybody's trying to make a living.
I have kids.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
I know.
Just grow from this. Like, do better. You got to do better. But just for yourself, though, honestly, because at the end of the day, when you go to bed, sleep at night, do you feel like, oh, I feel accomplished today? You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, okay, I get a star for being this person.
Yeah, like by talking crap about some people or putting some people down. Whether I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting a little too defensive at this point. But it's like
I mean, that's what it is though. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna throw an all-inclusive girls Galentine's event, or just be a girl's girl, be about it.
It really defeated the purpose of it.
Yeah, like it made me have a bad taste in my mouth, because in the time we had so much fun.
Yes.
We were loving it. We were vibing. We were thriving. And we're like, this is genuinely one of the funnest nights we've ever had. And then that just tainted it.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I made a video about it. I just want to delete it. I don't even feel good about it anymore.
It just left a bad taste in our mouths.
Yes.
It really defeated the purpose, because we really felt truly confident going in.
Happy.
It was beautiful. It was like just celebrating women in general. You know what I mean? Yes. And that's what we stand for. Our podcast in general, we've always said that since day one. Yes, we're all inclusive, and we celebrate everybody, all kinds of people too. But then we are women, and we love that all of our events were just mainly geared towards the people that we love and the girls that we love in our life. So that was just really like a weird, left a really bad taste in our mouth. Are we on the same team? I don't know.
And now I'm starting to figure that out, that not everyone's on your team. And you have to be okay with that, because you have to learn your boundaries. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is the end of the road, and that's okay.
And that's okay. You move on, and then, you move on from that. Leave that in the past.
So if you're also struggling with something like this, or you maybe perhaps run into a situation like this in the future, just know that everyone out there has experienced this at some point in their lives, whether it be on a minimal scale or on a larger scale. You will run into people that talk about you. You'll run into issues where people try to knock you off of your feet from the growth that you've made, it is a test from a sign from the universe, God, Buddha, whatever, and you will be tested. Just don't let it break you.
I just feel like, and like a really main message behind this too is just kind of like, you never know what people are going through. You never know what they've worked so hard to be who they are to today, the person you're seeing in front of you now. So everything, just really, really take things into consideration when you do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and we were just talking, like, I could have been suicidal.
No, seriously.
And that could have been your last trigger. Yes.
That could have been your trigger. Like, you just never know.
You never know. Just be nice. If you don't like what people are doing, look the other way, close your eyes, do whatever you need to do, because I don't look at you when you look weird.
Right, exactly. When
like,
you do yours,
I don't look at you when you're doing something that's like not normal or suspicious, whatever. I mind my own business.
Seriously.
Mind your own business, okay? As always, we upload a new episode every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And make sure you follow us at 116th Hotline to follow us on maybe some visuals that we have, announcements for our party coming up for our spring fling. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, and Instagram at 116th Hotline. We're going to put it right up here. And let us know what you thought about this episode. Please.
Pick your brain.
I am very curious to know if you out there have experienced something similar on any type of level. And, you know, I'm sure you have in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Let me know how that changed your view on others, how that helped you maybe change the way you see yourself, your value, and your boundaries.
Right.
I'm really I'm really curious to know.
Yeah, me too. I love that. And if you are a person that's just, you know, hearing it for the first time and you're trying to pick our brains, like, okay, like maybe it could be like this, or like, just like, you know what I'm saying, to see it from,
be
like,
the devil's avocado.
Yes, devil's avocado.
Yeah, let us know.
Use that more. Devil's avocado. Like, be the, okay, that translates to devil's advocate. I mean, I don't even know the actual words anymore because we say devil's
department.
Department.
Yeah, just
let
like see the flip side. Maybe we're seeing it in a different view.
Right. But this is our view, though.
Yes.
So, you know, so we want to see your view, and, you know, just we'll hear you out. Like,
what did you take from this? Yes. And, you know, maybe you can make your own conclusion on what you think maybe happened.
Absolutely.
I'm curious to know.
Stay tuned. We will be talking about our event soon coming up, and as always, keep up with our socials and our Instagram stories, because we will be posting of any delays or whatnot.
Yes.
And, so just thank you so much for being patient.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Time. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yes.
And 116 Hotline truly is a safe space. And when we say that, we mean that. You can ask any of our guests that have come on the podcast. You can ask Valerie. You can ask anyone who's ever listened. This is truly a space where we feel comfortable enough to share our own experiences like this.
Exactly.
Because we know that this is the space we're creating.
Yes.
And you should also feel comfortable to sharing your thoughts, opinions, whatever. You can even private message us. It's okay. It will always stay private. We're never going to share your name or whatever. It's a place for us to truly be. Share
your stories too if you want to, even.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a space for us to be authentic, to be comfortable being ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, again, too, please, if you want to hear something else, if you want us to talk about some certain topics, or if you even want to share your stories with us and we can, like, you know, share it out,
we're open to that.
We're open to that. Please DM us. And of course, like as you said, it's always going to be anonymous, you know, so we don't have to say your name. So
anyways, we will see you guys next week for a new episode. Bye.